Ripple. It's fighting a lawsuit with the United States regulators over whether the digital token XRP used to facilitate payments is a security rather than an asset. A security, of course, faces greater regulation. It's parted ways with remittance giant MoneyGram, but left the door open to a future relationship, and it's signing deals in Asia with a stake in a cross-border payment hub.
I think the SEC is wrong on the facts, they're wrong on the law. I think we will prevail, but as you say, there is a chance, of course, that the court system does not go that direction. The good news for Ripple is we've continued to sign customers. We've signed over 20 new financial institutions around the world as customers since the SEC filed their lawsuit. And I think we'll continue to see the network grow very rapidly in non-US customers. The challenge is that this drives blockchain innovation and crypto activity outside the US, which I don't think is in the interest of the United States in any way. Ripple has for years been incredibly transparent with our quarterly markets report about what we're doing with our XRP. And we've really asked the industry as a whole, if the crypto industry as a whole wants to be mature, I think that level of transparency is needed. Here in the United States, the industry has the risk of falling behind. But I don't think, at the end of the day, what Ripple's solving is a cross-border payments problem. And we are working with some of, and certainly speaking to many central banks around the world about some of the stable coin initiatives for central bank issued digital currencies. And we actually think that's actually helpful to what Ripple is doing in solving a cross-border payments problem.
All right, so in December, the SEC sues Ripple. And the gist of it is they say, you guys, or by selling XRP or releasing it into the community, as you would say, it was a security, not an asset, not gold. It's more like a stock. And you didn't register it. What you did was illegal.
That lawsuit, I think, is misguided. I think the idea that XRP is a security, it has traded out there for 8 years. It's kind of like, well, if it was a security, I guess we should have known that a long time ago.
So is your basic defense, you let us trade it for years and thus gives these backsies? Is that basically your response?
No. I mean, look, if you own a security, it gives you ownership of a company, right? If Ripple goes away, XRP is going to keep trading. Many countries around the world, the UK, Japan, Switzerland, Singapore, they all have clarity and certainty that XRP is not a security. In fact, the United States is the only country on the planet that has suggested that XRP is a security. And that's why I say this isn't just bad for Ripple, it's bad for crypto broadly here in the United States, and it's driving that activity, it's driving that entrepreneurial activity outside the United States. I think that definitely bodes poorly for the US crypto industry at large. I think if you believe these are the future infrastructures for payment networks, I think we should care about what countries have control over those technologies.
What we want to do is we want to make money move the way information moves. And that's obviously a huge task. And we started on enterprise international payments. That the vision is the internet of value. The vision is money moves the way the internet moves information.
Mm-hmm. I want to see the whole category grow. Right. I don't view a lot of these companies as competitors because it's so early that look, we're trying to solve a payments problem, and there's people working on securities and identity and lending, and I love it. I want all boats to rise, and I think that's a good thing. But for us, we're going to invest in the XRP ecosystem. We're invest in the broader ecosystem. We certainly want to see XRP become even more liquid. I'm not focused on the price of XRP over 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months. Mm-hmm. I'm focused on the price of XRP over 3 years and 5 years. Mm-hmm. I have no qualms saying definitively, if we continue to drive the success we're driving, we're going to drive a massive amount of demand for XRP because we're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. Mm-hmm. These payment flows are obviously very, very large. And to the extent we continue to drive success of signing up more banks, introducing them to how we can solve not just a connectivity question with XCurrent, but a liquidity problem, a multi-trillion-dollar problem around liquidity called XRapid, I'm very confident about that longer arc of time.
So obviously we're here in Toronto. We're at Swell, but also happening in Toronto is SIBOST, Swift's conference. A question, I think it's an interesting question. If you could say anything to Swift right now, what would it be?
I think what I would say is Ripple's vision and mission is to support the banking ecosystem, to support financial institutions. We want to work with the industry. Swift's vision and mission is to support banks and support the industry. We actually want to work with the industry, not against. You know, I would love to be able to find a way to partner more constructively with SWIFT. We have been proactive about that. I'm not that bleak of an outlook about the US dollar, but I do believe it would be disingenuous not to acknowledge that what's happening here right now will certainly have an impact over the coming years. And, you know, we won't see it just kind of go away quickly. We are going to continue to focus on how do we use XRP as a really effective tool for payments.
It's the reason why we at Ripple are using XRP. It's about 100,000 times more efficient on a per transaction basis in terms of energy costs, speed of transaction. It's a much more efficient for something like a payment.
When we start to see that PayPal's accepting Bitcoin and all these other companies are ready to accept it, where does XRP stand? Are you striking those kinds of deals with Expedias of the world and Morgan Stanley and Venmo?
Well, look, the great thing is we don't even need to strike those deals. As an open source technology, there are literally hundreds of different projects around the world that use XRP in lots of different ways, including for payments.
I think in the context of, you know, is XRP centralized or decentralized? It is very clearly decentralized. You know, I as CEO of the company can't control the XRP ledger. I can't change a transaction. The irony of this is as the XRP ledger has become more decentralized, Bitcoin and Ethereum have become more centralized. You obviously, lots of people are aware of the 51% attacks. You now have 3 miners in China that can control the Bitcoin blockchain. So when I hear people kind of, you know, making the points, you know, is the XRP ledger centralized? I think there's a lot of people out there that are fighting holy wars and they're spreading misinformation. And they're spreading misinformation because they have an economic interest in that. I don't worry about some of this stuff because I feel like the facts, as I said up front, the facts will set you free. And the fact is that, you know, XRP, anybody can participate in the XRP ecosystem. And if Ripple does something that's not in the best interest of the XRP ecosystem, the rest of the ecosystem can ignore us. So I think it's very, you know, I think when people dive into the technical details, XRP is very clearly decentralized. You know, that's one thing I guess I would want the community to understand. The most important thing probably is the people who continue to conflate, I think some people do this intentionally, conflate what is XRP and what is Ripple. Ripple is a centralized company investing in a decentralized technology in the same way Amazon was investing in TCP/IP in some ways.
Ripple will continue to grow and take market share. But that will probably be, you know, we're focused on cross-border payments today. I think we'll look at other use cases, as I kind of alluded earlier. And, you know, I hope that in 5 years we've got we're not just Amazon Books, but we are Amazon.
And fast forward 1 year.
Ooh.